Hello everybody, my name is Todd and welcome to Honeysuckle Farms. It's Saturday morning, about mid-morning. We've already been up for a couple hours. We got some food on the smoker. We went and checked all the animals this morning. We don't have any new babies in the pasture. One thing I want to talk about is, and I don't see it talked about very often on YouTube channels, these homestead YouTube channels, the farm channels and stuff like this, and is protecting your farm, your homestead, your animals, your family. Most importantly, your family. We do all this stuff that we do as people that are homesteaders or farmers and stuff. We do a lot of this stuff as an effort to take care of our family. But what a lot of people I've seen in this up and coming homestead revolution is people don't take into account protecting their family, their livestock, and their homestead in itself. There's basically two kinds of protection that I feel. There's passive and aggressive. Obviously passive on a homestead, whether it's 1 acre or 50 acres or what have you, you can have fencing, no trespassing signs. We're talking about not just protecting your livestock, we're talking about protecting your family. Certain animals you can put in with different flocks that protect the animals, and some of them are not as passive as others. But it's important that you look at these things and put these things in place. We're not here full time yet. That's something that we are working on right now. In the meantime, I've had to set things into place. We have cameras out here, basically hunting cameras, believe it or not, but they send pictures and videos to my cell phone. I really don't need your comment. And again, that's another one of the passive types of protection you can give for your farm and homestead. You can put these cameras out in pastures. They run off of AA batteries, and depending on the action you get, they can last for a couple of months at a time on a single set of batteries. So we have things like that in place. We have fencing for the animals. We have again, we get into fencing. There's passive and there's aggressive. So we have some electric fencing in certain areas, which is required when you have cows and bulls and pigs. And so that covers a few little things we want to talk about passive. But then, and the more the aggressive thing, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people that have livestock being taken on their farm, and they have no critters, animals, specifically, and in my case, dogs. Like I said, again, it just amazes me that that there isn't something in place. You can't be around your animals 24/7. You go out and buy all these animals, build all these cages, but passive protection isn't always going to work. There's animals out there. I mean, we live in an area where we have coyotes, bears, raccoons, alligators, bobcats, foxes, you name it, and we have all kinds of hawks. That's one thing I wanted to talk to you about too. And there's ways to protect from those things. And what, can you have 50 different things in place to try to protect everything? I don't think that's that's the case. What I try to do is have the best protection I can available and multitask with those protections. So hot fences keep animals in, and they also keep other animals out. A lot of people, when we get we get up here and get moved in, our chickens that we're going to have out on a pasture, we're going to have them with usually with the goose. They do real well, and that's more of a, like I said, it's one of those passive aggressive types of protection you can have in place. If you've ever dealt with some geese, they can become very aggressive, but they're very good at what they do. They look after the flock. So, you know, it goes back to the whole point of it, where you have animals, and a farm back in the old days always had a dog, and they were raised to get along with the animals and to take care and protect the farm. Now, another form of protection is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but it is aggressive, and it is the use of firearms on a farm. The first time I came to look at this property, I saw about a 3.5-4 foot rattlesnake, and to me, that was like, okay, I'm sold. To a lot of people, be like, heck no, you know, I don't want to be around those snakes. But you know, I wanted to be out in the woods. I wanted to be away from all the hustle and bustle of the city and the people and the rude people. So to me, that was just a sign. But again, and there's cases and times out here we have to wear boots. We have to protect ourselves. That's a form of passive protection, but you need to wear boots out here. I remember my wife stepped out of the golf cart one day and was probably a foot away from a 20-inch pygmy rattlesnake, and she had tennis shoes on, and we've just been talking about putting boots on. So you've got to protect yourself. You know, obviously, one of the things that I have on all my vehicles is a machete. And it's a little rough in some cases, but you can protect yourself against some predators and some animals that you don't care to be around. You know, you need to have something in place. Firearms are something that I believe that on a farm and even a small homestead are required. As far as I'm concerned, this is my opinion here. And we have a couple of them here at the farm that we keep around in case we have some problems. I had a coyote come in on the property one time, and he was very sick or rabid. I'm not sure. I wasn't going to find out. We had to dispatch him. He came within 20 feet of me. Really wasn't in a comfortable situation to be in, but we had the pieces in place to take care of that. You know, again, it's not always against animals too. I mean, you never know what you're going to come upon when you come out and you're out and way out in the farm and way out in the woods. You have to protect your family too. There's different ways to do that, but you know, you don't have to go overboard. You have to have the pieces in place, and you need to be prepared. That key word, prepared, to handle pretty much any situation that arises. That's something that, you know, I am planning to do and set forth in place a plan to protect everything: my family, my property, my animals, and you know, everything that goes along with that. And we're going to come back and talk about a little more in depth what we're talking about: protecting your farm and protecting your family. We're going to get at it. Okay, so it's been a long hot day, but storms are rolling in, as you can hear. But we were able to get the last bit done. We got the kitchen furred out, kitchen wall, exterior wall furred out, and we messed around with our measurements for our windows. We got the bedroom furred out. I'm leaving the framing around the windows open because I don't want to be adjusting those later. So once we get the windows set, we'll be able to go ahead and set the studs right next to the window so that it matches up like this. This one was easy because it was a single one. But anyway, just a matter of time before we're going to be getting the plumbing roughed in, electrical roughed in, windows in, and roof on. And after that, it's on like we're on. All right, so we've got some people coming by to look at a couple of the cows, and so instead of dragging out all the tools, I decided to go ahead and work up in the garden. We've had a bunch of bad storms here, and they've been wrecking havoc on my tomato plants. We just let them grow. The tomatoes seem to be doing good. The plants are doing good, but yeah, most of these got broken over, knocked over. This poor beautiful plant was just laying over on the side. So our cucumbers are about done for the year. Pulled a few here and there. We're probably going to pull them next weekend. Our eggplant is growing and should be ready in a week or so. They always take longer. That's why we end up doing the zucchini parmesan first. But anyway, we got some pickings today. Look at all the peppers on that. We've got some pickings today. A lot of tomatoes. We got some of these what are called lemon boys, and everybody just loves them. So looks like we're going to be making some salsa and some pickled jalapenos this week. A little update on the hoop house. I still haven't planted anything in the aquaponics bed. I really haven't figured out what I want to put in there. The hydroponics, this weekend I went ahead and topped these tomato plants. I'm trying to keep everything short. If I kill them, I kill them. But we went ahead and topped this bell pepper when we first got it, and it's branching off, doing well. Most of our other stuff is doing good, just not as good as I would like it. We're deciding, we got some ghost pepper plants down here doing real well, but this little spot over here used to be a, hold on, how about that? It's a little better. This little spot over here I use for the winter time, and it's a compost bed. And what I did in there is I went ahead and mixed fresh compost in there, and compost will heat for about 60 days. And I cut these this 55-gallon drum in half, put a couple handles on it, and we used it for basically for thermal heat in here the first year. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and turn that into another herb garden. I'm just not keeping up well with my herbs, and it's a nice spot, good soil in there. Everything's going to go good. Now, as far as, like I said, everything else go, we're looking forward. It's the one thing about this hydroponics, it grows so well that you can plant two spring or two whatever early season plantings in here and get some productivity out of it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grow these guys until it gets to the fall, and we're already getting started on our fall setup plan. I'm getting my seeds together. Excuse me, it's a hot one. Like I said, again, our pepper garden, it's fixing to blow. I had this beautiful tomato plant over here that got just trashed by the storm. I can't wait for it to grow out. But all our peppers are doing good. But all in all, that's a little update on the garden. It's a hot one today. It's about 93 degrees. But we've been getting storms, like I said. We've had what's called, and I've never heard of this before, it's called a derecho or derecho. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced, but it's a storm front with heavy winds, and then sometimes followed by heavy rain. But that was the case, and that's the case we've had up here. We've had 70, 80 mile-an-hour winds ahead of some storms, and it just wreaked havoc on everything. So, but you know, we do the best we can. And we are definitely able to eat for a while off the produce that we get off our garden, and it's quite fulfilling to know that you can do that. Like I said, most everything we do out here, everything from the cows, pigs, to chickens, is done on a trial basis to see what we can do and what we need to sustain our family and our livelihood when we do move up here, which, you know, is supposed to be this year. Things are going to happen real fast around here, so if you watch the channel, stick closely. You're gonna see a fast transformation, hopefully. You know, there's always that Murphy's Law, but hopefully you'll see a quick transformation into a completed carriage house. And then once we move up here, it's gonna be fun. I really can't wait for that. It's, you know, the anticipation, the patience that I have now that I'm older is wearing thin. But really wanting to get out here and just enjoy the life that we're building for ourselves. Well, we got up, we were doing some chores around here, working in the garden, and I went over and noticed something that wasn't right in the beehive. So we're going to do a quick inspection and check on the new hive that we got that was a swarm. I think they may have swarmed again. Sometimes this happens with certain hives, certain queens. They come and they like to swarm, and you know, maybe something you never, you know, it may not be anything you did wrong, but it just happens sometimes. So we're going to go in and do a quick hive inspection and see what's going on. All right, well, at least we got bees in here. Let's take it to the next step and see what's going on. Definitely not the amount of bees we had in here before. So we're just gonna have to see what we got going on. There's nothing on these outside frames at all. We got a little bit of comb on this frame. Now we're getting into the bees. We basically got bees on heavy on 3 frames. Starting with this one. All right, we got some cat brood. I see some 4 or 5 day old larvae, so that's not bad. I think what may have happened is that this hive swarmed, and either we should see some queen cells or lots of cat brood. There's our queen right there. You can see her right there. See the queen? That's the queen right there. So we've got a queen, we've got cat brood. I just think that, I don't know. This is definitely not the bees that we had in here. So got some larvae. I got some pollen on one of the bees. It may be an issue with food. We're going through a dearth right now. So as you can see, we look like we got 1 queen cell right here, right up here. I'm gonna make sure we take that out.
outside frame. So this queen is laying well. I don't see any eggs out here. I kind of got a feeling that this may be a new queen, and she just got back from her mating flight, and she's getting ready to start laying again, because I didn't see any day-old eggs, and we probably should have. So at least we got bees. They've got cat brood. Don't have much food. I got a feeling we're going to probably start feeding. Maybe I'll go mix up some sugar water, get these guys some feed, and help them out a little bit. First things, let me give everybody a little update of what's going on. So we've had a bunch of weather up here. I think we got almost 5 inches of rain this week, and so we weren't able to get a lot of work done outside, but we were able to get some things done. But most importantly, we got things set up for us to finish the project here. We ended up getting our electrical panel this week. We got our transfer switch for our backup generator ordered. Got with the window company. We're about 2 to 3 weeks out on the delivery on our windows. We went and spoke with the metal company who's doing the roof, supplying the metal for the roof. And I had to make a big decision. I'm probably going to be going with somebody and subbing the roof work out to somebody else. Being the fact that I haven't had my knee surgery yet and a few other issues, I just don't have the help that I need to do the roof, and I want to get it done quickly because we're on the home stretch here. This thing's going to come together real soon, so I want to go ahead and get things done as fast as possible. So I went ahead and got in touch with a couple of guys. They're going to come out and give me a quote to put the roof on. Like I said before, it's a simple roof system. It's a standing seam metal roof system, Galvalume, lasts forever. And if I got my measurements right on the roof, it should go together pretty good. As far as the carriage houses is right now, we've got most of the walls framed out. The only thing we haven't done is furred out the living room. And the reason why I'm kind of holding off on that is that I want to have my windows set so that these studs right here line up. But now just setting them in place with the buck in there doesn't guarantee it's going to work out once you get the window in. You got to get it a little shift here and there. So I'm probably just going to go in and hold off on that in here. But again, everything's coming together. We plan, the way it looks right now is the way I got it planned out is I plan to have the roof on and the windows in, and hopefully the electrical roughed in and the plumbing roughed in by the end of July. That puts us into sheetrocking and painting and finishing in August. The plan, like I said, is to get moved up here and have Thanksgiving dinner in the carriage house. That's a far stretch, but you know, got to push yourself to find out how much you can do. So a lot of this stuff is what as far as my job goes, this is what I do. I schedule things. I make things happen. Now the physical labor part of it I don't do anymore, so it's taken a little longer here and there, but went down to the building department, had to get another building permit. My permit's been going on for so long, so they got their extra money. We also went down and went to the health department, had to get another septic tank permit. I've got an idea of how we're going to run the septic system here so that it accepts, it is good so we can tie in the main house once we build that. So we're doing an oversized septic system on the carriage house, but it's going to cover the carriage house and the main house. So again, it's all about planning and putting into place. We did get the front door in. I don't think I showed that on the last video. I went ahead and framed in the front door area. Like I said in my original, back in the last video, they didn't have a door in here. They only had the door at the bottom of the stairwell.
I want this area blocked off, and the bottom of the in the garage is not going to be air conditioned, so we're going to have all this. It'll save on energy, and plus we've got some other ideas for things that we want to do. So all in all, it's all coming together. So hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I hope y'all have a fantastic week. And remember what I always say: don't ever give up on your dreams. My name is Todd. This is Honeysuckle Farms. Hope to see you next video. Bye.